The month of February is recognized each year as National Heart Health Month. Cardiovascular disease is the world's #1 cause of death. Here with us today is Dr. Adlatka and survivor of congenital heart defect, Ivan Hernandez. Now, Ivan, can you just briefly tell us about your journey? Because I know you were born with the defect, but you didn't realize having many complications until you were in your 30s, correct? When you got a
That's right. That's right. Yeah, as a kid, they handed me to my mom as a baby and said, this baby has heart failure and could die because of this defect. I had a defective mitral valve. And then as far as I was concerned as a kid, nothing was going on. I was in karate, Boy Scouts, every sport. And then as an adult, during a regular checkup, my cardiologist said, something's up, your heart's expanding. And they looked further and I had to have surgery. So it was a shocker because I was at the pinnacle of my career at that time.
Yeah.
So,
and you're active. I was reading that you worked out a lot and you went through that recovery, but then you got another diagnosis, correct?
That's right. Yeah. Funny thing is, I was so active, CrossFit was like taking off during that time.
Okay.
Covered the doctor's ears. And I was going to compete in the regionals at the time. I wanted to compete. And, but I got surprise news about 3 years later that I had to have a surgery because that repair of the valve had failed. Wow. And they had to then replace it. And that one was pretty brutal. That recovery was pretty brutal.
And talk about that, because I know there was some emotional toll behind that one. You really struggled emotionally and mentally.
Absolutely. To my surprise, at least during the recovery, I found out that I was just feeling uneasy all the time. And it turns out that I was afraid to leave the house and all these different signals were coming my way. And it turns out that I had PTSD and agoraphobia, which is fear of leaving the house. And so I learned very quickly about all the toolbox or all the toolkits that I should be, or the tools I should say, that heart patients should be using to help them recover, not just physically, but mentally. And one of those was cardiac rehab that really give you confidence to just be able to walk out the door.
And what did that involve specifically?
Cardiac rehab was walking into a room where there were a lot of more mature patients, right, in their 70s, 80s, 90s. Some of them had oxygen tanks. And, the old me, the super active me, was like, well, I used to work out every day. This isn't for me. I was completely wrong. All my dear friend heart patients in that room were there for good reasons, because it entailed just getting on a bike or a treadmill and taking a few steps.
Yeah, so you learn those practices.
Exactly,
Yeah.
regaining that confidence of, hey, when I'm crossing the street, I'm not going to pass out or have a cardiac episode. And it's more mental than just the physical part.
Okay, yes. And doctor, we want to make sure we get you in. Tell us how common CHD is with people and treatments, how they've advanced.
So first of all, thanks for having us here. Ivan has a really impressive story, and that's the story of most of our patients too. CHD is, which is congenital heart defect, is one of the most common, it's actually the most common birth defect in the world. Out of every 1,000 babies which are born, 8 of them can be born with some kind of congenital heart defect. And congenital heart defects, and people are living, like I went into well into their adulthood, thanks to the science and the advances which have happened over the last several decades. Currently there's an estimate, as per American Heart Association, there are like 2.4 million adult people living, both children and adults, living with the congenital heart defect. So,
and how often do you suggest getting screened? Because I know, Ivan, I think it was annual for you?
For me, it actually became every 6 months.
Okay, so how often would you tell parents to get their children screened?
So congenital heart defect means you're born with it. So there is no screening criteria. The only thing is, when you go to the pediatrician, if they hear anything abnormal, a murmur, then they refer to a cardiologist to further evaluate if there is any, if they have any kind of issue, or unless like you have any symptoms like a chest pain, if you have any abnormal EKGs, that's when the children should be referred to the pediatric cardiologist for the further evaluation.
All right, great. And I know we could talk all day about this, but I appreciate you sharing your story, especially, someone who comes from that background of being fit and, in that space. It's a good reminder to always get screened and, hear about heart health. So if you want more information about this, the American Heart Association